No police went to arrest him. He was detained, interviews were conducted, and he was formally arrested only after all of the interviews were complete at 4 in the morning. Again, I'll go back to his mother sees this and reports it. Apparently, she calls him and he says he's homesick. His father agrees that it looks like it's their son of the rifle matching what Robinson was given as a gift. And then the father asked Robinson to send a photo of the rifle. What? They're that concerned over some grainy Bigfoot footage that they asked their son to send footage of the rifle, and Robinson does not respond. I just don't know how. Like, Barron made an episode the other day, I think it was on his Clips channel, and it was talking about how somebody that was either interviewed by maybe Brandy Siciliani or whoever it was, somebody said they talked to the family. I don't know if it was Elizabeth Lane, somebody. They talked to the family, and they said about 2% of everything we're hearing about the Tyler Robinson case is actually true. The rest is false. That's coming from inside the family. You have Mike Mitchell. I mean, there's so many things that are all coming, almost everything is coming from third-party entities. They're coming from other people that are not the family, that are not Tyler Robinson, that are not anybody involved at all. They're just reporters and political actors and presidents, and it's just crazy. At the parents' home, Robinson implies that he is the shooter. That's all that they're telling us, that he is implying he's the shooter because he said he wanted to end it. I don't know. The story on itself sounds very light, and you would want a very light, manipulatable story that has little information so that you can use it later and say, oh, well, I meant this, I did that, I said this, I left this out on purpose, and they can fill it in. It's a light story because it needs filling in, and they don't have to fill it in right then. They're going to fill it in whenever. That's what it looks like to me, a fake story. They talk about him turning himself in. Specifically, this part that I'm covering is very strange. It's very strange. Mike Mitchell, very strange. I don't know. This is who he is, I guess. I'll tell you what I know. A law enforcement witness who was called like a close, good family friend who helped facilitate working with Tyler and his parents with the sheriff's department for Tyler to turn himself in. Let me see if I can find this.
All right, turning to another area. As part of this investigation, I believe you mentioned previously that law enforcement conducted an interview with Mr. Mitchell.
They did.
Remind us when that interview occurred.
So that was the early morning hours of September 12th at the Washington County Sheriff's Department.
Are you aware if a second interaction or statement was collected from Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, it was.
When did that happen?
It was March 31st of this year.
Who was present at that time?
It was Ryan McBride, Chad Grunander, Kimberly Derfler, and Agent Chris Terry with SBI.
What office do they work for?
The Utah County Attorney's Office.
And you mentioned Agent Chris Terry?
Yes.
So you were not present for this collection of this statement?
No, I was not.
Have you communicated with Agent Chris Terry about how this happened?
Yes, I have.
How did this happen?
So all those individuals met with Mike Mitchell it was the St. George.
He's explaining, I think, how Mike Mitchell ended up turning in Tyler Robinson, I believe.
St. George courthouse there. They met and discussed briefly. I was going to kind of talk generally about the situation. From there, Mr. Mitchell was given a handwritten 1102 paper statement, and he left the room, went into a separate office by himself, was there for about an hour where he hand wrote a statement, filled the statement out. When that was complete, he came back into the room where the others were waiting and provided that 1102 statement, went into a separate office by himself.
So this is his own collective statement. This isn't even with Robinson. This is after the fact statement from the officer Mitchell to his colleagues or higher ups.
Was there for about an hour where he hand wrote a statement, filled the statement out. When that was complete, he came back into the room where the others were waiting and provided that 1102 statement to them.
We've heard quite a bit about 1102 statements. Sounds like there's an official form that is used. What's present on that form, if you know?
There's an admission or warning given on those forms that states that the information you're giving is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge. that any false statement that is given or may be given would be punishable by a Class A misdemeanor.
Aside from that being written on the form,
I'm trying to see if she's going to get anywhere with this, but I might just.
are you aware if this admonition was discussed with Mr. Mitchell?
It was.
Yeah, so she's, I guess, questioning the integrity of Mitchell. But this law enforcement officer, who is the witness to Tyler Robinson getting turned in, calls a close, he is referred to as a close friend, a good family, loyal, close friend who helped facilitate working with Tyler and his parents with the sheriff's department as a unit to turn Tyler himself in. This is a quote. On the evening of September 11th, 2025, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. They never say that. I don't think, if you even look back, especially now, they're much more careful. Implied that he had committed the incident. A family member reached out. A family friend called the police. Remember Fristo's son turned him in after 42 years? Remember Kaczynski's brother or Resendez's sister for the $80,000? And Mike Mitchell. How much did they say Tyler Robinson was going to get? Was there a bounty for Tyler Robinson? Was there a bounty? Yes, there was a total reward of $1.15 million for information. Check this out. There was a total reward of $1.15 million for information leading to the arrest of Tyler Robinson. Reward breakdown. The FBI bounty. The Federal Bureau of Investigations initially offered a $100,000 reward immediately following the September 2025 shooting. Private donations, like high-profile conservative figures and private donors, heavily boosted the pool during the 33-hour manhunt. Activist Alex Bruesewitz and Robby Starbuck each pledged $25,000. Ooh, wow. While billionaire financier Bill Ackman pledged $1 million. Yeah. What is this? Let's look at these early reports. This was September 16th.
Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the resident presidential.
So sad. Bro, they literally start with this. This is 6 days after Charlie was killed. Let's watch what kind of video they make.
Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the resident presidential scholarship from Utah State University.
The 22-year-old suspected of the killing that has stunned the U.S. Tyler Robinson, a Utah native with a seemingly unremarkable life until now.
We have made our way to St. George in Washington County, right in the south of Utah. And that is because he lived here with his mum and dad just down the road here.
Lived?
It feels like a really
lived here. Oh, maybe he moved out.
Normal community. We've been trying to build a profile of Tyler Robinson using information from law enforcement and also, crucially, from social media.
We found this photo showing the day his parents dropped him off at college. Look at the trainers. He's wearing what appear to be the same shoes as those in the images.
Oh my gosh, you guys, the slop is everywhere.
We found this.
Those are completely different color shoes, you guys. I know it's hard to see on your end. I mean, look at the shoe color.
Photo
Look.
showing the day his parents dropped him off at college. Look at the trainers.
Look
He's
at the
wearing
color.
what appear to be the same.
Look at the color. Look, that's like black, dark blue. What is that? Black, dark blue, something. What happened? Someone in the chat, go get them, mods. What's going on? Hopefully everything is okay. All right. Look at those shoes. Blue, black. It's very hard to tell. Dark gray. Okay. What are the next shoes?
As those in the images.
What about these shoes? What color are these shoes? This one doesn't have a maroon shirt. This one doesn't have a maroon shirt. But yeah, look, those are different
released
shoes.
by the FBI.
Oh, like it's so obvious. It's so painstakingly obvious that this is not
In
the
the past
same guy.
48 hours. A happy young man posing
Yeah, that's your kill.
with others and traveling beyond his immediate surroundings. But away from this public face,
Why show it this way? Look at the
agents
content
say
they're
they've
putting out.
uncovered suspicious online messages linked to the crime.
You can see the media walking past
Oh,
here.
my goodness.
There are officers, law enforcement, looks like from local teams. You can probably hear a helicopter overhead. And if you look, there's a grey car. Now, the authorities have talked about
Oh, that's the one.
a grey Dodge vehicle being at the campus where Charlie Kirk was.
So that's the one. That looks like I'm just looking at the property. I'm looking at the home. I'm looking at, I might have to go. I might have to
some
go there.
4 hours ahead of that taking place.
As well as finding palm and footprints from the spot the
Oh my
gunman
gosh. Did they take when was this been made? They upgraded the imagery because we have these images. The images don't look like that. They only look, that's not what they look like. What the hell is this? Hold on. Now I got to open up the actual images. What is that? Here, I have the actual images, you goons. This is the actual image. That's it. There's nothing that whatever they just showed. This is all there is. Excuse me. This is all there is. That's the real image. What is this shit that they're showing us? What the hell is that? Why is BBC showing that slop? This is the real image. I have this image. Sniper's Perch. Look at where these are all located. You see how, and then here, I'll make it bigger. Here's mine, not mine, the original that I know of. Here's theirs. Bro, the slop is awful.
fired. The FBI said they later recovered a rifle and bullet casings from the roof.
Then they show,
as well as finding palm and
then they show this still, unless they've got some other footage over top, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. That looks strange to me.
footprints from the spot the gunman fired. The FBI said they later recovered a rifle and bullet casings. From the roof, the shooter had a clear line of sight, about 130 meters away from where Charlie Kirk was speaking. CCTV shows a person jumping off the roof and heading for this road, Campus Drive. But in the end, it wasn't CCTV that brought this manhunt to an end. It was a reported confession to his dad.
Yeah, right. Reported confession to his dad. That's what this is, you guys. It's all reportedly, allegedly, perhaps, maybe. That's it. That's all we've got. He arrives at 9? His parents and Mitchell, something like that. So the evening of September 11th, no police went to arrest him. He was detained. Interviews were conducted, and he was formally arrested only for after all of the interviews were complete. They say reportedly at 4 in the morning.